sir. 3, 2, 1, mark. Good morning. My name is Eddie Fisher. I'm with CNT News, and I'm here with Charlie Bradstock. Charlie, thanks for speaking with us today.
That's always good to speak to you, and thank you for having me on.
Oh, let's restart. Nope.
Oh, you okay? You good?
Yeah. Let's do a remark.
Okay.
Charlie, I'll say thanks for speaking with us, and I'll say it probably like 7 times. So the first time I'm just
Okay.
gonna say it. Just give me a how you do. And then we'll get into it.
All right. Yeah.
All right. You ready, Ramses?
Ready when you are, Kevin.
3, 2, 1, mark. Good morning. My name is Eddie Fisher. I'm with CNT News. Today I have Charlie Bradstock. Charlie, thanks for speaking with us.
How you doing?
Charlie, if you could go ahead and tell the people who you are, what you're about, what you support.
All right. The name's Charlie Bradstock. I've done a number of things in my life. Currently I run an arms corporation. Out of state, within state, I run an insurance company, which I'm still getting on its feet. As for what I'm trying to get done, primarily firearm reform. Firearms are the laws related to them are quite behind currently within our state, so that is something that I'm looking to get done. Department accountability for all departments, every single one of them, EMS, PD, BCSO, every single one of them. They all need to hold each other accountable instead of just keeping themselves accountable. And then lastly, something I want to look towards getting done would be prison reform, because it is more about punishment currently than rehabilitation, and I feel that is a tragedy, and people should have the ability to reintegrate into society instead of just being punished over and over again and then being institutionalized as a result.
All right, great. So we'll start with your prison reform. One thing you could change about the system.
Honestly, I would say allowing prisoners to develop skills within prison. Currently that isn't something present. A number of people that go in to prison are, because they don't have many opportunities, so they resort to crime. So I feel, setting up a system wherein people can learn valuable skills such as becoming a mechanic that they can then get qualifications for and then go into the outside world after they get released and then utilize that to get themselves a job and, integrate into society.
Right. And on the website, we already have a nice profile for Charlie here. Check us out. You focus on gun laws. What kind of gun laws would you see like to be changed?
Well, firstly, definitions as is within our state are lackluster. There are a number of holes. There are a number of issues regarding it. Currently it's class 1, class 2, which are both very broad. I want to bring it in line with the federal laws, as defined, within what the ATF deals with. So your class 1, class 2, class 3, and then destructive devices or class 4s. I have a bill written for that. I would also like to push more people to get armed, as citizens, and implement state training for those people, state sponsored, whether it be businesses that are working with the state or the state itself. So that way people are confident in utilizing their firearms if they need to. We don't have people running around not knowing how to shoot a gun when, that makes them honestly more dangerous than, if they knew how to use a gun.
So you're suggesting maybe like government-sponsored training for all citizens.
Indeed, similar to how if you get a driver's license, you have to do a course. Yeah.
Right.
Similar thing for firearms. Make sure you're trained. Make sure you're qualified to utilize a firearm in a safe and effective manner.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now accountability you mentioned.
Indeed.
Could you go into more into that?
So currently, most, if not all, departments have internal affairs. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. However, there have been a few instances wherein people have accused that the internal affairs department hasn't done their job well. I can't speak to whether or not that's true. I don't have access to the files. However, what I feel would be a good way of holding them accountable is, an individual, if they feel that it hasn't been done, either they're a part of the department or, it's a civilian that has filed the IA report. what would then happen is, after the regular IA report has been done, they could go to the government, file something with the government, a form of some kind, and then in the event the government signs off on it, an external department, so let's use LSPD for example, they have the internal affairs report, it gets dealt with. At that point, if it was to go to, getting another department in, BCSO would go and investigate. It's a completely separate department, and hopefully with that, because the departments will be holding each other accountable as opposed to just themselves, it will help to reduce corruption overall.
Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea, Charlie. Now, farm reform. Is that just something to further employment for new citizens, or?
I mean, I think overall, it could be more employment for both new citizens and, currently residing citizens within our state. It's definitely a good opportunity there.
Yeah. Any last remarks for the camera?
Yeah, sure. Make sure you go out and vote. Make sure it's an informed vote. Don't just vote for whoever you see on TV or screaming the loudest on Twitter. Make sure you speak to your candidates, find out what one best suits you, and then make an informed and educated vote.
All right. Well, thank you again for speaking to us, Charlie.
No, by all means.
I've been Eddie Fisher with CNT News Special Election Coverage. Have a good night.